What is going on, everybody? We are live here at the KellyCast studios. Welcome in to the official pregame show. Buffalo Bills and New York Jets meet today. And yes, we put on our Bills gear. Even though Mike's gear is green, I don't think he's rooting on the Jets, but he might.
It's salute to service. Cut it out, man. You got to honor the troops. We got to do something positive because I'm not too confident in Buffalo's abilities against the Jets. So
yeah, that could be true. Unc, how you doing? It's been a while since we had you here. We've been having some audio, video issues that are driving me and Mike crazy, but it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. I'm excited. I liked the last time.
Yeah.
And, the KellyCast doesn't really work out too well unless it's all the Kelly.
He's missing out on the honorary Kellys. We got Aaron, we got Kevin, we got Mitch.
But you got the real Kelly here. And that's what's important.
Well, the real Kellys, please stand up.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't either. There's not enough room.
There's definitely not.
Anybody who's out there watching, we appreciate you. If you want to let us know how we're sounding, how it looks, everything like that. Let's get right into it, guys. The new offensive coordinator in town, Joe Brady. Obviously, Ken Dorsey was fired on Tuesday morning. Unc, what were your first thoughts when you heard that Dorsey was out?
I thought Dorsey should have been out a long time ago. So I was kind of happy about it, but at the same token, it is in mid-season, and sometimes that could be a problem. But I guess it's going to come down to how the locker room deals with it, because the Bills are all about they're all about culture, and as long as the locker room is able to deal with it, I think it's going to work out well. Because Joe Brady, think about it, he took LSU to the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out in Carolina. He was only the offensive coordinator there for about a year. What about you, Mike? What did you think about the change here in the offense?
Well, I was just going to ask my dad real quick. Do you think that culture is collapsing in the locker room with all the diversity that's going on? Do you think that Allen has come to a place in his career where he's not sure where to go? He just doesn't have that guidance?
No, I don't. I think right now you are going to see what the Bills are made of today. Okay, we're going to all know what they're made of today, and we can say what we want to say about it, but I think that Josh Allen is going to start taking this team on his shoulders, and they're going to run the table.
Okay, you think they're going to run the table?
It's about time Josh does something positive, because it's been some time since we've seen any kind of reason to really cheer. Like, me and Mike were at the game, and it was a good time. We had fun. There were some plays that were cheer-worthy, some touchdowns and stuff like that, but overall the vibe with the Bills has just been sadness, I want to say, because it's not like they're the worst team in football, but in the same way, they're losing games. I got to explain this to my girlfriend because she doesn't understand football, but it's like they're losing in ways that make me more angry than if they would have lost by 40.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely there. I mean, I've said it all along. They're in the last 3 years, maybe 4 years, there's only 2 games the Bills actually lost. Only 2. The other games, they lost because of themselves. They lost because of themselves.
The Broncos was a prime example of that just last week.
All the games this year is a prime example of it. All the games last year are a prime example of it. The only 2 that I can tell you right now that we actually got our tails whipped was the Cincinnati game in the playoffs and the Colts game 2 years ago. That's it. That is absolutely it.
I think there's a difference between, being blown out, getting your tail whipped, and getting out-coached and being in a game on the stat sheet, but it doesn't feel like you were ever going to win. I think that's different. But, Mike, I think you might be hungry. Take a look at the screen.
All right.
There's some turnovers made.
Yeah, quite a bit, and he's led the. It's not surprising though. He's led the league since he's been in the league every year in interceptions. So that's something that we've come to deal with Josh Allen. Does it need to tone down? Yeah, hell yeah. But everybody makes fun of Dak, but where's Josh in this conversation? He's been a turnover machine.
He's there too. I think the reason Dak plays for the Cowboys, you automatically get more fans in that organization.
Yeah.
But it's true. And I've had this discussion with a lot of people this week over Josh, and it's really hard to defend your team when you had 4 turnovers on offense against the Denver Broncos in a primetime game, and you're supposed to be a Super Bowl favorite. It's very hard to defend anybody. Your quarterback, your running back, it doesn't matter. I don't care who it is. The water boy, I blame him too. Aaron, welcome in. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Let us know how the audio sounds, please. We've been trying to test it, and it's been a hassle. So if we sound good, please let us know. If we sound bad, please let us know. But Uncle, I need to ask you: do you think Josh has a turnover problem?
Well, let's put it this way. I've been watching football since 1969. I think I was 7 at the time. That's when I really started watching football. And one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time is also one of the highest rated sack or interception rated guys, and that was Brett Favre. Okay, because he's a gunslinger.
The password is set already. You can sign in on it.
Josh Allen.
Two-factor.
Josh Allen is also a gunslinger. So you're gonna get turnovers. Okay, you're gonna get turnovers, but you gotta accept the bad with the good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at your comment. It was Mitch's comment that I was laughing at. Hello, Sexy and Dan. And of course, Uncle. Don't forget the Unkies here. Alan Favre, gunslingers, or as my girlfriend called him, what was it? Fervor.
And then I said, "What the?" I said, "Where did you find those extra V's? Let me know, because I guess my eyesight really is going."
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no.
And the other thing is, Josh Allen is number 6 right now in the MVP category. Number 6.
I thought 6 was C.J. Stroud.
6 was Josh Allen. I think Stroud might be up there a little higher now, or maybe a little lower. But Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And yes,
he is.
He takes chances because of his arm, guys. His arm.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked you straight up the turnover problem question was I saw a clip from the Stephen A. Smith show, and it was with, I always forget his name, former Dan Orlovsky, former Lions quarterback. Yeah. And he was the only one of the 4 or 5 people on set that said, Josh Allen does not have a turnover problem. What's happening is, okay, he missed a throw by 2 to 3 inches to Stephon Diggs. Okay, he takes some arm punts, 3rd and 20, whatever. But he's not costing his team games with turnovers, right? He's not, the offense has not been putting it together for the first 3 quarters in at least a month. At least a month was the last time we saw consistent offense from the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I'd say it's longer than that.
Yeah, and maybe it has been.
In September.
But you look at what's been going on, and it's just insane. With the level of talent here, it needs to change right now. A question from Mitch here says, do we know if Joe Brady is down on the field or up in the booth? Just asking. That's a great question, Mitch. And I have to tell you, I do not have the answer. Mike's mic is super loud. It sounds like you guys are just basically talking into nothing. But can you hear us?
1, 2, 8.
So that's crazy. So how about now? Am I a little bit lower than?
Big loud guy.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, Joe Brady, as far as I can see, is Joe Brady for at least the first 2 games should be down on the sidelines because he needs to actually talk to the offense.
Well, he was asked in the presser the other day about whether he was going to be up in the booth or down on the field. And his response was, honestly, guys,
I don't know.
I haven't thought past today yet.
Yeah.
I'm taking this one day at a time. I'm still taking this in stride. And he mentioned, there's bonuses to both. If you're on the field, you get a sense. He said you're good bow. That's what he said.
Good now.
No, good bow.
Good bow. All right. Take a bow. Come to KellyCast.
We'll take a bow for you, sir. But he mentioned, the camaraderie if you're on the field, and if you're up in the booth, obviously you can see more. So We'll figure that out when it comes to game time, Mitch. I'm sure they'll take a camera and cut to him at least once. My question is, like, we obviously know it's not going to be big changes in this offense. It's going to be a Dable, Dorsey style offense, and that's just what it's going to be. What it comes down to, I think, Mike, is calling the plays at the right time. If we don't see a 2nd and 10 shotgun run, if we don't see a 3rd and 20 arm punt, that's when I'm happy.
You're going to see something. I'm telling you, you're going to see something that you haven't seen out yet.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what it is. Hardy is going to be used, and he's going to be used like Tyreek Hill is.
Oh, my goodness.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, back
He's
to
got
your...
the speed. We have not used him the way that we picked him up. We picked him up to run streaks, to run corners, to run posts. We haven't done any of it. What is his run?
We also haven't used Dalton Kincaid until Knox went out either. So I mean, we're misusing a lot of players in the offense, and even back to Danny's point, Von Miller basically said that there's not going to be any big changes in the offense. Now is really not the time to blow up. We know we have, and then to Josh's interview, we know we have a slim margin of error, right, and we know exactly where we're at. And
you have to wonder how Josh feels right now, because the man has always put Buffalo on his back, no matter if it's a good thing or a bad thing. And right now, it has got to be a very tough time for him, because everybody that's not in the Buffalo Bills building at One Bills Drive is blaming Josh Allen for the firing of Ken Dorsey, and that's not correct.
No, he's against it.
Here's a fun point that I was talking to with a customer at my actual job.
You don't get paid for this?
He said, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. I've said it to you in personal conversations. I can't stand Hollywood Josh Allen. We need to go find that girl. We need to go get him back his old girlfriend, because Hollywood Josh Allen is not cutting it here in Buffalo. And I don't want to bag on the guy, but I have to bag on the guy. He's made poor decisions. Whether Ken Dorsey was the actual problem or not, he's helped Ken Dorsey lose his job.
Well, the whole offense has. You know who I think is a very big disappointment, and I can't wait to see him leave, is Gabe Davis. He cannot catch the football.
I thought about
I'm
making
61
Gabe Davis
years old, Danny.
I wanna.
And I could catch the ball better than he can.
I want to give you a point that Mike made me, though. He watched the replay of the Monday night game, which I don't know how you decided to do that. I don't know how you stomached it as a Bills fan. I know you. I don't know how you did it, man.
I know exactly what you're going to say, by the way.
Yeah, and
but he still should have caught the damn ball.
I agree, but at the same time, I've had Mike throw lasers at me, and I can't catch them because they're too hard. So there was no need to throw it as hard as Josh throws it sometimes. Sometimes you have to. The triple coverage touchdown to Quentin Morris, I understand. Having to throw that ball as hard as you can. Against the Denver Broncos on Monday night, the weather was not a factor. Okay, it was a little chilly. Whatever. They should have been cold. They had adrenaline pumping through their veins. I find it hard to blame one person. I blame the organization. I blame the coach. I blame the coordinator.
Sure.
I blame the quarterback. I blame everybody. And right now is the time to get it fixed. But how about we talk about another AFC team here for a second? Thursday Night Football. Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens. 2 key injuries. 2 key guys out for the season. Stick a fork in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's done for the year.
Yep.
That sucks. That sucks for the NFL. It sucks as a person who wants to beat Cincinnati. And it's good for a team like Buffalo, who are at 500 and now have I want to say better than slim, maybe, chance to get into the playoffs if the Bengals are out of that running.
Yes, they're definitely out of it. And Joe Burrow, this is the second major injury that he's had in his 4 years.
Well, let's hope it's nothing.
It's sad.
Serious.
It's definitely serious.
He comes back.
And it was on his throwing hand, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's serious.
Yeah, I think it's a broken. It's not like a broken wrist, but it's something with his fingers.
It's something to do with like some ligament damage.
Ligament. Okay.
But sometimes the ligament damage can,
That's probably what happened to my finger. Just so you know. It still hurts.
How about you attempt to answer Mitch's latest question, Mike? Give it a
Which one? Where is he at? What happened to the short throws from like week 2 and you make your playmakers do something? Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, they definitely need to get back to some short throws. Of course, you can't do it all the time. You definitely got to get a little bit creative, or they're gonna peg you for it every time.
That's a great question.
At the risk of sounding like the dumbest guy in the room here, I'm usually the dumbest guy in the room, so I don't have a problem with this. I don't feel like this was the game to fire Dorsey. Because I don't think he called a bad game. Yes, there were turnovers, but from what I was seeing, there was different routes. They weren't on the same side of the field. There was not a lot of shotgun runs. The running game actually was their best part of the offense last week. I'm not going to say I'm mad at it because I've wanted Dorsey gone for weeks the same way you said, but I just don't understand the message you're sending to your team right now. So I'm hoping that in that locker room, in that facility, everybody understands what the goal is. The goal is to win a Super Bowl.
I was just going to say, we don't have to understand. The players have to understand, and that's between them and the locker room. So, yeah.
If you haven't, and we don't really have a lot of time, but you have to watch Stefon Diggs' interview this week. Because
I did.
Somebody asked him like a question directly about his brother, and his response.
He said, "I can't." It was.
He's so nice, but at the same time, you can see like how
it was a big fu. Like I can't control what other people say, and I can't control. Yeah, it's my family. It's above all else. But to another point, somebody else I can't remember, so I can't quote the name. But he said, if family's saying it, you're close with family, and he's said he's close with family, then. He must have talked with family, so maybe the family knows something better than we do.
The media fishes for stories. Why can't we just report what's real and not what is on freaking Twitter?
What's exciting about that?
Exciting is it correct?
I don't like that. I should have been born with you in the 1940s.
Like 1960s.
That's okay. I got 1920, so somehow I'm older than you are.
It never makes any sense. Don't worry.
Then you would have known about the greatest athlete of all time.
It never makes any sense. Don't worry.
And Jim Thorpe.
We got about 12 minutes here, and I got some questions to throw around for all of you. Let's start with Mike. Joe Brady, new offensive coordinator in town. Are you expecting a more balanced game plan here against the New York Jets, the 5th-ranked defense in the entire league, or do you think it's going to be pass-heavy? I didn't include run-heavy because I don't expect it to be run-heavy, but if you can take that if you want.
I think they're going to definitely go more to the air and let Allen be Allen. I think that Joe Brady understands that Allen needs to be Allen, and
what does that mean?
He needs to be able to run and play a little bit of backyard football.
Out of the pocket. Get him on the edge. That's when he's the best. He's best when he's going to his right and he's throwing the ball on the right.
And also under center. They need to keep him under center too. I know he likes the shotgun better, but we do better under center.
Yeah, by being under center, the defense, you got them out of, you got them. They don't know whether it's a run or a pass.
I feel like when you're in shotgun, it's like
it's a pass.
It's 70-30. It's a pass
At
most
least.
of the time, especially when you're the Buffalo Bills. Like they're reading what you're doing. A question for you, Unc. Thoughts on the defense this year? And who in particular needs to have a big game today against the New York Jets defense?
Well, I think the defense, we lost 3 of the best players in the whole league. All 3 of those guys, they're Pro Bowl players. They're all pros at their top level.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as who I think has got to have, I think Ed Oliver has been playing fantastic.
Okay.
He's got to get rid of those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Yeah.
They're killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I think that Von Miller is ready to break out. I don't know if it's going to be this week next week or after the bye.
You know,
But he's ready to roll. He's going to break out.
you bring up Von Miller, and it grinds my gears. Family Guy grinds my gears, man. I have been talking about Von ever since he came back. I wore his jersey to the Broncos game because he's most known as a Bronco in his career, and I wanted him to perform. I understand.
He's
Coming
alright.
back from an ACL, I get it. He is not himself right now.
No.
And I wish he was. I wish he was that freaking explosive, dominant
Monster.
pass rusher, but I don't see it, and Mitch made me laugh with that. Mitch says, don't throw it to Jordan Whitehead, who Josh had 3 interceptions to in week 1.
Or Buffalo should have signed him in the wide receiver core, maybe.
At 5-5, I'm obviously not happy where the
Who
Buffalo
is?
Bills are at 5-5.
Who is?
But that injury to Burrow certainly helps, and the other injury that we forgot to talk about because we got a little off track. Mark Andrews, done for the year for Baltimore, the number 1 receiving option. Yes, he's a tight end. I don't care. He's a wide receiver in that offense. That hurts a lot, and Baltimore is really good. So, I think, are they the first seed? Are they the 1 seed right now?
No, I think it's still Kansas City.
Really? Even after the loss to Denver?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also
I'll have
think
to fact check that.
I also think that the AFC Championship game is going to be Baltimore against the Bills, and it's going to be in Baltimore.
Okay, that's a hot take. The Jets this year obviously come in, and they've beaten the Bills, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Broncos. I don't know if you consider us a good team. Honestly, on paper, we might not be, but beating the Eagles is a feather in the New York Jets cap. Now, Zach Wilson has not shown that he's ready to be a franchise guy, but I think he's shown that he could probably be a good backup quarterback in the NFL. I think, at least that's the case. And last week, he led the Jets in rushing yards. I thought that was pretty weird. I thought, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, pretty good running backs, right? But last week, it was Zach Wilson with 54 yards rushing. Let's get into our keys to the game and then our predictions before we go. Mike, let's start with one of your keys to the game, either offense or defense.
One of my keys to the game was get Dalvin Cook going. He's been top 5 running back, James. Oh goodness, yeah, not little brother. We don't want him going.
That's big brother.
James is the little brother.
Little big brother. God.
Big brother.
James is the little brother.
Why do you guys gotta?
Why you gotta say the wrong thing? I don't know, man.
What's your keys to the game?
We gotta get Cook going. He's been top 5, even though I didn't think he was top 5 in rushing yards in the whole league. So I think he is right now. I looked him up before we came on the show. He's top 5. He's top 5.
Okay.
So I mean, we need to get him going. And we need to get some of that mix in there. We need to run on all over the Jets defense.
I'm going to follow suit on you here with offense, and I'm going to say that you mentioned Josh needing to be Josh, and you kind of explained a little bit of that, which I appreciate. I wrote that he needs to get his head out of his ass because I need him. I need to see smart reads, and I saw it against Denver. I know he had some of those dumbfounded picks, especially the one before the half. I cannot explain.
With Davis, are you talking about
No.
the sidelines?
The one on the sidelines, yeah.
That was terrible.
The one with Davis where it hits him in the chest and bounces off, no, I hated that too. But the one before the half is inexcusable. Not only did you lose points for yourself, you cost your team more points, and that's what ended up with the tie happening for a while there.
Correct.
But I think you just need to go through your progressions. Find the open guy. Do not look for the home run ball. I'm expecting the home run ball today, to be honest with you. I'm expecting stuff that you don't see all the time from the Buffalo Bills in this matchup because you have that, what's the word for it? Like you can't prepare for this offense. You haven't seen a Joe Brady offense in the NFL since December of 21.
I'm saying offense also. But I think it's going to be outside speed. And
we don't have that.
We do have that.
No, we don't. Name
We're
one
not
player.
using it.
Name one player
We're
who's
not
fast
using
on
it.
defense.
On offense, I'm saying.
Oh, offense. Okay, sorry.
No, I'm saying offense.
Okay.
We need to get the outside receivers going, and we need to run motion. We have not done a lot of running motion.
I agree.
And that's what I'll say.
I agree with that sentiment. And for the defense, I just wrote down continue to do what you're doing. People want to blame the defense for the loss against the Denver Broncos.
Absolutely
And if
not.
you want to blame the defense, I will fist fight you. I don't care if you're a man, woman, or child. I will fist fight you for bringing up that point. The defense he mentioned it. They're missing all Pro Bowl type players, and they are still producing. They started most of their drives from the 40-yard line last week, the Denver Broncos, and you either held them to 3 or 0.
That's correct.
That is to be commended. Good for you, Buffalo. Please continue to do what you're doing, because it seems this year, when the offense plays good, the defense doesn't. When the defense plays good, the offense doesn't.
Except for September.
I'll give you that. I'll give you September, because we played easy-ass teams. Before we go
Miami,
here...
Yeah, Miami was easy.
Oh, okay, shut up.
Yeah. And the Raiders was easy, too. You're just see the score in the game now.
The Raiders was easy to
Well, Miami's having a hell of a time with them.
Yeah.
And they might be losing.
That'd be nice. We'll have to see after we get
Yeah.
off here. But before we go, guys, let's get into our predictions here on the KellyCast. Of course, we do our weekly predictions. Keep up with them. Keep up with all the videos here on the KellyCast. Follow us on all social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, at the KellyCast. Start with you, Uncle. I mean, you already said it, but I'm going to have you say it again. Bills and Jets, who do you got and why?
I have the Bills winning the game in a blowout. I have Josh Allen throwing 5 touchdown passes at least.
Do you have a score for us today?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you do have a score for us.
48-11.
Okay.
Ooh.
11. You think there's going to be like a safety?
Nope. I think they're gonna get 2 points.
So you're taking the under. They got the over under at 39 points. I mean,
Let's take the over.
I'm taking
okay,
the
the over, way over.
And I Josh Allen is not throwing.
I'm exhausted from the audio issues. Okay.
He's not throwing an interception, and he's going to have over a 72% completion ratio.
When's the last time he had 72?
Uh,
September?
Yeah.
Probably.
No, it was against Tampa, I think.
Okay.
It was almost 80%. He had like 3 misses.
It's not over yet, right? Yeah, I know.
43 seconds.
Oh,
It's
damn.
over.
It's not over yet. They still got the ball. It's okay. Mike,
What's
Jets,
the-
Bills, and why?
What is this class? I got to tell why now.
Yes.
I mean, having a hard time picking the Bills just because the way that they've been playing. But I completely agree with your sentiments earlier. I think we're going to see, well, obviously a different offense than.
The Titans threw a touchdown to Jeffrey Simmons. Yes, Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive tackle. That's pretty awesome. Sorry. You put football in front of my face. I'm going to report it.
I guess I lost that.
Again, like I said, I have a difficult time picking the Bills, but I think this might be the last game that I'm gonna pick the Bills. I think they split it. I think we see, like you said, a different defense or offense. I told you I'm exhausted from them audio issues. They got me mentally spent.
And you got a finger injury that you've been bitching about all week.
No, I just been trying to make you feel guilty just because it's
didn't
fun.
work.
Because it's fun
Ever
at
since
first.
I told you it was not my fault.
Well, we only have a few more minutes. Let's get your prediction. And why?
New York Jets.
And why?
Why? Because after the Bills lost on Monday night, I came home and told myself I was not picking the Bills this week for 2 reasons. 1, they suck. And 2, because maybe if I pick against them, they'll win.
Okay.
So I've lost in my predictions every week this year. I'm trying to use my luck in the opposite way right now and to make sure that the Buffalo
So you're
Bills
superstitious.
get a victory. Of course I am. Over the New York Jets. Not as superstitious as Patrick Mahomes, who wears the same underwear every week.
Gross. Chris Collinsworth is sniffing them.
All right, guys, enjoy the games. Kickoff is in about 30 minutes here. Enjoy the game as always. We'll see you next time, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go